Hey guys, I'm your host, Chris Jones for Beyond Local. This is episode 21. If you didn't check out our special edition last week for our episode 20, it was with Mike King. Mike King is one of the foremost technical SEO experts in the world. And I'll tell you what, early in that interview, I realized that it was going to turn into a documentary of this individual who is a fascinating person. He's got a background touring the world as a hip hop artist, has gone on to become, as I've already mentioned, one of the top technical SEOs. And he's also just a kick butt entrepreneur. So if you haven't watched that, watch it. But we actually have a super timely topic. We have Mark Dymond back with us. He's our director of paid media management at LSEO. Our topic is going to be 6 key digital marketing strategies you can implement before Black Friday. Welcome back, Mark.
Thanks, Chris.
Absolutely. Always great to have you. So let's set the stage. There's a lot going on that advertisers, right? That's who we're really talking to, either advertisers or digital marketing agencies or consultants who represent them. There's a lot of considerations they have to go into this holiday opportunity. We're in a global pandemic. Buying patterns are changing. So can you add a little bit more about, you came to me and oh my God, were you well prepared as it relates to this topic today? You're ready to give, I know, the advertisers you work with the best possible solutions, but why is this important?
Yeah, definitely. So this is important right now simply because Corona is changing the way that people interact with stores and brands. People are buying early for the Christmas season. They don't want to go to stores when they're packed. So it's very important for everyone, regardless if you're e-commerce, have a brick and mortar store, or whatever your situation is, to implement these strategies today so that people can start finding you because they're shopping early.
Awesome. Let's dive right in. So one of the most important things right out of the gate is the advertiser's online identity, right? And when we're talking about holiday sales and potentially we're going to get into advertisers who have both brick and mortar stores as well as e-commerce experiences, but your online identity, one way of thinking about it is whether or not the information about your identity, your name of your business, your address, your phone number, it's referred to as NAP, that's consistent. So can you talk a little bit more about why that's important, why it's important to have that consistent across the web?
Definitely. This would be a no-brainer, you would think, right? Mm-hmm. But we've come across multiple, not even like local businesses, but just even bigger brands that just don't have their NAP, like the Google business. It's not updated and it's not filled in with the most information as possible. That includes photos and includes like your website, your actual phone number there, answering questions, having reviews, posting blog posts, anything posting about your promotional events. It's just not updated, which is surprising. So it's literally the lowest hanging fruit. It's the easiest. It builds up brand recognition. When people see a fully optimized listing, when they search for the brand, it just builds consumer confidence. I think on the flip side, if you don't have that, then you're risking a customer calling an old number, going to a location that you might not even be there. Or if you don't have updated hours, especially for the holiday hours, then they're going to go there when you're not open, and it'll just be a rough time.
Yeah, listen, I think your point is well taken, and it's one of those things where you have to stay on top of it, and now is the time to make sure that it's consistent and make sure that it's accurate. Correct? Totally.
And while you're doing that, you might as well update all of the other outdated company information on any of the directory platforms while you're in that, even on social media platforms.
Yeah. For some of the SMBs that might be listening in on today's podcast, there are third-party solutions like Yext and Moz Local and others who could do this for you. LSEO, Mark and his team, and our colleague Kyle and his team could help you guys with this as well. So let's move on. So we're going to kind of stay within the idea of optimizing, the advertiser's identity, but more specifically the products and services that they offer. So your next tip here is to optimize on-page content for holiday keywords. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, sure. So it's always important to be working on your SEO work. It's not an evergreen product per se where you do it once, it's done, that's it. You always have to go in and refresh it. the last year when there were holiday products, if you're selling holiday products, those trends change. Obviously, coronavirus is changing how everyone is doing their daily lives and business. So you have to stay on top of the products, make sure that your on-page content is updated. It's the most up-to-date information for anyone looking for it. It's simplistic. The search engines can see it and all of that fun stuff. Because if you're not doing that, guarantee you the competition is going to be looking at where they can come in and scoop some traffic from you.
Yeah, no, sounds good. Let's talk about your third tip, which is this idea of the website being user-friendly. And if you don't mind, I think it's also important to take into consideration how important it is that your mobile experience, user experience, is also optimized and ready for shoppers or ready for people to engage with.
Probably even more important.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as far as, ensuring that your website's user-friendly, specifically for like mobile, this is making sure that you don't have annoying pop-ups that appear like the second you go into a site. At least give them 30 seconds to scroll down the page. That could include anything like such as navigation that's hard to use. So if there's any resistance at all where the person literally cannot find what they're looking for, they're going to bounce. They're going to go find another web page to find their needs. So yeah, this is literally just making sure that your website is set up correctly so that the search engines can see it. That goes back to the second point of on-page content, making sure that your website is speedy so that people could get to what they want quick enough, and making sure that there's no annoying like JavaScript that's messing anything up or anything that would destroy that user experience as far as looking at what they want to see on your site.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So you mentioned as a tip to not forget about the local factor, right?
Mm-hmm.
And this brings up a discussion around brick and mortar, et cetera. So tell us more about that.
Yeah, sure. So there's always going to be people who prefer shopping online. Forbes contributor Greg Petro cited a study that found 71% of survey respondents stated that they tend to spend $50 or more when shopping in a brick and mortar location, as opposed to only 54% responded they'd usually spend $50 or more online. So you'll literally get more people to purchase in store. Now, there's a lot of psychological factors that go into that. People could literally see themselves owning the item. They hold it in their hand. They're visualizing themselves with it. There's a lot that goes into that, which is why that is the case there. So that goes back to the first tip here, making sure that your NAP is updated, just so that your customers could literally find you. They know when you're open, they know where you're located. All of that is very consistent. The second half of that is there's also some paid media campaigns that you could run to get traffic to your brick and mortar store. And more importantly, especially with like social and even on the Google side, you could run offline conversions. So historically, if you were running some campaigns, maybe you just promote or boost a blog post saying that you had a promotion in store, and that'd be the end of it. You could see how many clicks and impressions, and you wouldn't know if that person saw the ad and came to the store because they saw the ad. Well, that's totally different now. So you could literally track all that information with offline events. So you could track how many sales you made from a promotion that you set up online, and how many people literally saw it and came to your store and spent the money. So there's a lot that you could do with that as well.
So one other just thought I had was, to your point earlier about people's comfort level with going in stores, like one of the big trends right now that may never go away, candidly, is this idea of curbside pickup.
Right.
I mean, it's convenient. Some people, honestly, end up going. The funny thing is like the example would be like my wife sends me to Sam's Club to get a couple of cases of water, and I come home with a $300 order, right? So,
right.
that is candidly how I shop. I am a window shopper. I mean, if you put something in front of me in the aisle, chances are I'm going to buy it. So, kidding aside, though, the idea of curbside pickup really helps people that are concerned about coronavirus. And it's just, candidly, it's more efficient, right?
Yep.
So that's one point. And then a transition into your next tip before we leave the local factor is you mentioned this idea that, and I know you have clients like Danielle and Company and others who you actually use paid search and paid social strategies to drive people into the store, right?
Right. Yep.
So let's transition into the run effective PPC ad. So really your core expertise is, and you have certifications to prove it and a lot of years of experience, is in helping advertisers position for success with paid search engine marketing, Google, Bing, et cetera, as well as paid social ads. So leveraging advanced techniques like audience targeting, where you're able to focus very narrowly on the customers that are most likely to buy, but your expertise in paid social ads across Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, and I'll save it for a future podcast, but your new experience as an expert in Hulu ads really positions you to answer this question. So why is effective PPC ads important coming into Black Friday?
So SEO's the marathon, PPC's the sprint. So you can get everything set up quickly with PPC. Same thing with social ads, but we'll get to that in a second. So you could literally run your holiday promotions online with PPC ads. You could bid on specific keywords that could be related to like your product, maybe your brand, anything along those lines. So you're going to show up when the user is literally ready to buy. Your ad will show up, which is just, it's great. On the flip side, there's also the remarketing campaign. So if someone goes to your site, they see some products that they're looking at. They didn't necessarily check out right then and there. Your products could start following them around the web. So that's the power of PPC ads. If you have a promotion, you could maybe do like a YouTube video or Gmail campaign where you're literally dropping an ad into someone's personal Gmail about a promotion. So there's a lot of opportunities there as far as what people could do to run PPC ads. Some immediate opportunities and some quick tips. One is update ad copy with your most current promotions. Whatever you're promoting for the holidays, make sure that it's in the ad copy. I've taken over a couple of accounts and you'd be surprised how many people don't include promotions. Or on the flip side, they leave promotions up after they expire. They just get stale. Yeah. So just make sure that you're updating ad copy on that. There's also promotion extensions on the Google side and on the Bing side. So that's literally when your text ad pops up, there's a little bit of space at the bottom telling whatever the promotion off. If it's saved 10%, you can see that. It just adds more real estate on the page, gets higher CTRs. It's ultimately what you want. And then touching a little bit more on what you said before on curbside pickup, make sure your product feeds, if you're running PLA campaigns, that's the shopping campaigns, make sure your product feeds are updated. Because if you are offering curbside pickup, you could literally put that in your product feed and it'll show up when people are searching for the different items. That way, if they're more comfortable with curbside pickup, like you mentioned, it's literally right in front of their face as an option. They could see it, they click on it, they buy it, and then go pick it up. So there's a lot to do on the paid side as well. A couple of other things I wanted to touch base on with PPC in general. If you're already running Google Ads and you're not on other search platforms, seriously consider it. Like if you're running a killer Google campaign, it'd make a lot of sense to bring that over to Bing as immediate low-hanging fruit. It's very simple to hook the two up. Bing typically has lower search impressions, which is whatever, less people are on it, but that also means lower cost per click, so you can get lower cost per sales there as well. So that's a serious contender. Another one is looking into search partners. So that is an option that you have to really consider, because if you're on Google and you're searching for whatever a product may be, there's text ads that appear above the videos. Well, that's how you get them up, is through search partners. You could also appear on Google's search partners, which is like DuckDuckGo and other search engines. So if you want to have a comprehensive brand on pretty much every search engine available, use search partners, use Bing. There's a lot that you could do there.
You know, one thought I had with regard to like, who are we really talking to here? Because we're talking about a lot of e-commerce because, in some cases, e-commerce businesses,
Right.
40 to 70% of their business could really come in the fourth quarter. But one thing I just want a little bit of wisdom I wanted to drop, because I've seen you do it with some of the ads that you're running for LSEO itself, is so for folks that are listening and saying, well, this doesn't apply to me because I'm not e-commerce, I would disagree. Your point on making sure your ad copy isn't stale and that it's relevant. Every season, every opportunity, you can hook. You see car dealerships do this really well with commercials. It's the presidential election season, and what the heck does that have to do with? And we're running great deals,
Right.
But anyone could really do that, and I know you did that. You put Santa Claus on a campaign. I think it was for the recent webinar you did, but it was kind of brilliant because what you're doing is you're and you're not an e-commerce business. LSEO is a digital marketing agency.
Right.
You're leveraging that trend towards people's mindsets being around holidays. And you're capturing that with some of the copy and the creative to hook people in to get them to put you to the front of the line as it relates to where they're thinking. And so, yeah, I mean, anybody could do it. And I don't think this is a time for businesses that aren't e-commerce not to leverage seasonality and the excitement and the increased likelihood that people will be shopping. So
even if you're a service-based company, these tips 100% apply. You could still implement them today.
Yeah. Yep. And so the final tip, number 6, which you've already kind of touched on a little bit, but you kind of refer to it as leveraging the beast of social media. Talk to us a little bit more about some social media ideas that you have coming into Black Friday.
Definitely. So this is more leveraging all the platforms. So a lot of people, they stick with Facebook and Instagram. I get it. It's easy to do. That's just one ad network. There's a lot of people on it. But that might not be where your target audience is anymore. There's Snapchat, there's TikTok, there's Hulu ads, there's Pinterest, there's Twitter. There's a lot of platforms out there.
There's LinkedIn.
Yep, LinkedIn. So there is a lot you could do just to make sure that you're hitting up your target audience. So if you're only focusing on one specific social media platform, I'd really reconsider that unless you know for sure that your other audiences aren't on those other platforms. The cool part is, like, the other platforms like Snapchat and TikTok are literally giving you free money if you sign up and spend an X amount with them. So might as well take advantage of it, especially with Black Friday. If you're going to run any promotions, well, the most enticing ad copy is whatever the promotion is going to be. So you might as well take advantage of their free ad spend and start using that today.
Awesome. So a quick recap would be, we're in a global pandemic, but people are going to increase their buying patterns for the holidays. You got to consider, if you're a brick and mortar, what that means, whether it be curbside pickup, whether it be, allocating some additional resources into digital marketing to try to drive people to your storefront. Any closing thoughts from you as it relates to folks getting ready for Black Friday? Yeah,
and just to touch lightly on social media again. So this is really a powerful platform for your messages on anything promotional related for Black Friday or any holiday season. It's literally push marketing. You're pushing out your message. So it's like the traditional TV, billboards, whatever it may be. But the difference is you could actually track results. So you could actually see what your ads did and how much money you got back for your investment. A really cool part about that is you could test out a bunch of different stuff on social media because you can gather the information fast because you're pushing it out. For example, you could test out the wording of a specific promotion. If you literally don't know if 25% off or the word $50 off will get better response, put it up on social media, test it out, use that information that you just learned. If it's 25% off works better than $50 off, then start using that in your PPC ad copy. Use it on your website. You could use it on the print throughout your store. It'll literally give you an information. So it's just a matter of having the knowledge to set up the campaigns correctly and test out your ideas to make sure that it works. And then that'll give you the most success for the holiday season here.
Awesome. So how can folks get in touch with you and with LSEO?
Yeah, sure. So we can literally give you a free audit of, doesn't matter if it's the PPC side, so the search side, the social side, or if you just want us to take a look at your website and SEO to make sure that you're prepared for the Black Friday season and the holiday season. Contact us at sales@lseo.com and we'll give you a free audit.
Sounds good. Guys, we'll see you from Studio 16 South next week for episode 22. Thank you for being with us.